for an exam or working on a project and go to bed feeling like you could sleep for a week. Now imagine that you actually did sleep for a week. Well, that's basically what happened to Beth Goodyear when she was about to turn 17, except she fell asleep and didn't wake up for 6 months. Okay, technically she did wake up once a day, but she was always in a dream or trance-like state, and she was only up long enough to eat and use the restroom, but then fell back asleep again. No, Beth was not injured, she was not in a coma, she just couldn't wake up, and doctors have no idea why. But they do have a name for it. It's called Kleine-Levin syndrome, KLS, also known as Sleeping Beauty syndrome. Although the name sounds all magical and sweet, this illness is actually the evil stepmother of all nightmares. Like I mentioned, those who are affected basically sleep non-stop, and even when they're awake, they're not really awake. Each episode of this nap attack from hell could last for a few days to several months, and doctors have no clue what's even triggering it, let alone know how to treat it. And if you're thinking, oh, what's so bad about that? You just get to sleep all day. Well, here's the thing. If you're affected, you have no idea when you're gonna fall asleep and have no idea when you're gonna wake up. This means that you can't take care of yourself. Someone has to be around to make sure there's food, there's water, and life is just passing you by. You can't go to school, you can't have a job, you might miss all those special times in life like prom, graduation, major holidays. In Beth's case, she has been asleep more than she has been awake, and when she wakes up, she has no idea what happened or any concept of time. Beth will usually only stay awake for a couple of weeks before this illness strikes and she's asleep again. According to neurologist Dr. Guy Leschziner, the difference between KLS and other sleep disorders is that those suffering from KLS will also show clear personality changes. They feel as if they are in a dreamlike state, very separate from the world around them. It has a massive impact on their lives. When they wake up and realize what they've missed, they may feel depressed and anxious. KLS is estimated to affect around 1 in a million people around the world. Among those affected, 70% are male, and it mainly affects teenagers and usually lasts around 13 years. Next up, speaking of medical mysteries, a man named Mohibia Bolobasic from Bosnia claims to be able to stick random objects to his body. And I've done a video before about a man whose body is somehow magnetic, and he can stick things on there like silverware and irons. But Mohibia is not only able to stick metallic objects on his body, he's also able to attract random things like TV remotes or ashtrays and whiskey bottles. Mohibia says that his unique ability is not because of training. He says he feels like his body gives off some sort of special energy which makes random things stick to him. You know, this reminds me of that episode of Family Guy when the whole family rolls around in toxic waste and all got superpowers, but then Meg's superpower was the ability to extend her fingernails. I feel like this power is equivalent to that. It's a power that Magneto's infant baby may have. I mean, what can you do with this? Hey, what can you do? Oh, I can fly and fry people with my laser eye beam. What about you? I can carry my keys on my bare chest. It's really helpful when you're swimming. And finally, in a recent interview, China's first astronaut may have finally solved the mystery of why no intelligent alien beings have revealed themselves to us yet. Astronaut Yang Li Wei was aboard the Shenzhen 5 spaceship during a 21-hour mission in 2003 and said that he heard a creepy, mysterious knock on a spaceship that occurred time to time. He said the knock neither came from the outside nor the inside of the spaceship, but sounded like someone is knocking the body of the spaceship, just as knocking an iron bucket with a hammer. The sound made Li Wei very nervous, but he couldn't really figure out where the knocks were coming from. Other astronauts have heard similar knocking sounds, and to this day, no one knows what they could have been. So yeah, my theory is apparently the aliens came, they knocked, no one answered, so they left and probably thought we were all super rude. They're probably talking to each other like, so yeah, we traveled 1 trillion miles to this planet called Earth. We stopped at the gate and saw some random dude just floating inside. We knocked to be polite and no one opened the door. That was so rude because we see the guy in there. So we decided to leave and not give these guys our super awesome space travel technology. To summarize, in this video, we covered the Sleeping Beauty syndrome, the worst superpower in the world, and the aliens came but we did not open the door. Guys, let me know your thoughts on any one of these topics. Let me know what you think the mysterious knocking sounds were. Also, if you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you hit that like button. Thank you all so much for watching. See you. Hey guys, it's Mike Chen. Ever stay up for a long time studying for an exam or working on a project and go to bed feeling like you could sleep for a week? Now imagine that you actually did sleep for a week. Well, that's basically what happened to Beth Goodyear when she was about to turn 17, except she fell asleep and didn't wake up for 6 months. Okay, technically she did wake up once a day, but she was always in a dream or trance-like state, and she was only up long enough to eat and use the restroom, but then fell back asleep again. No, Beth was not injured, she was not in a coma, she just couldn't wake up, and doctors have no idea why. But they do have a name for it. It's called Kleine-Levin